experience I had in Medjugorje, about sort of mid-afternoon, we started up Mount Krizovic, Cross Mountain, and it was pretty hard going, and then we got to the top, and I don't think we had mass, but we had prayers and we had songs. It was very glorious, beautiful, panoramic view and everything. It was quite glorious, and then we saw a beautiful sunset, from the top of the mountain. And then all of a sudden it dawned on us, we got to go down in the dark. And who remembered a flashlight, it's an interesting thing. Climbing mountains is always an interesting sort of endeavor. Of course, 2 weeks ago was Easter, 2 weeks ago. And then prior to that, the 40 days of climbing the mountain, Lent to the resurrection on Easter Day, It's sort of like three parts of mountain climbing. One is climbing the mountain. And that sounds like the hard part. It wasn't that hard to get up here to Mount Tabor, actually, with those nice vans. Pushing and shoving and waiting. There's climbing the mountain, and that involves, a certain amount of hardship and a certain amount of discipline and so forth. And then there's being at the top of the mountain, which, of course, is really the greatest part, and all things seem possible. At the top of the mountain, and it's such a glorious moment in our journey. We just stand there in the thin air, and everything seems kind of possible and glorious. And then there's the climbing down the mountain, and coming back to the workaday world and the ordinary circumstances of our lives, and that's where sometimes people kind of look at us like, because we want everyone to be where we are now, at the point in the journey where we're at, and the experiences that we've had, and the experience of that mountaintop. They might not have had that experience, so they kind of look at us like we're a little cuckoo, but that's part of it, If that's the hardest part, though, I think, is coming back down to reality and to working with those circumstances and those situations and those people in our lives that are difficult. This is a wonderful moment, 23 years of priesthood for me in my journey, and a wonderful place to be, certainly. So it's an easy street from here, I'm sure. An interesting moment for all of you, I'm sure, too, to be here. It's a beautiful experience. We know there's a lot more journey to go, so don't get too comfortable. Transfiguration and transformation sound really good, I think, in theory, but the bottom line is, it's difficult to be transfigured and transformed. It's difficult to change. It's difficult to grow. But the alternative isn't so good. So we got to keep trying. We got to keep climbing. We got to keep moving forward in the journey. And that's always going to be a very difficult challenge for us. I believe it was Cardinal Henry Newman that said, to live is to change, right? And to be made perfect is to have changed often. Right? And so constantly evolving, constantly changing, constantly growing, and there's growing pains associated with that. But we